There is a debate as old as crypto itself on whether you should sell and ignore the old altcoins that have been through one or more cycles and only focus and buy the new coins. After all, most of the new coins end up performing the best. Well, in this video, I want to give you the answer once and for all. And I think this is important to actually identify right now because the old coins are pumping. Could this be a temporary pump to get the money who has been holding this coin the last 3 years out right before the major next pump? Or is this showing signs of something more? Could the old coins actually have something to prove again this cycle? And I actually think I have the answer to this. So stay tuned, guys. All I ask in return is if you do end up enjoying the video one or learning something new, I'm here to educate, right? Hit that like button to help support all I do. And while you're at it, subscribe button's right next door. It's going to make me very happy and it'll make you very happy at the end of the bull run. But look, at the end of the day, it shouldn't matter old or new. You should be making money in the market in general. You guys know I'm making money by trading. And I'm not a trader, right? I'm learning as we go, copy trading the pros we have in our trading group. I made some money on an old coin here yesterday, right? Multiverse X, I made over a 4X. Here, Ondo, 2.5X. It doesn't matter for me. I'm making money and so should you. Take advantage of the bull run, guys. Like I've been saying, we have less than 12 months of this left in the trading corner itself. Links down below. You have this as $30 a month, but that's waived completely free for you guys when you do begin trading. So we incentivize you to trade, to have a free access to the group. And plus you can see we have 25 different levels in which you're able to earn some extra USDT on as you trade as well. So we're giving you money, right? And we're also helping you trade as well. So it's a win-win, right? You're making money trading and also being in the group. So guys, there should be no excuse for not capitalizing right now on the market, old or new. Now, it is good to see the old coins, by the way, pumping. Now, this is great because a lot of us have been holding these for quite some time. And I do know in many cases, people are selling these coins because they've been holding it since the last bull run and they never really sold, right? And they're looking to get into coins that they've been eyeing off now, newer coins for this bull run. And as a pretty general overview, I think for the most part, guys, there is some sense in selling old coins and focusing on the new ones. However, there are definitely situations old coins will outperform the new coins. And like I said, I think I have the answer here. I want you to hold on tight because this isn't your favorite top 10 altcoin video, but this is going to teach you something that you can then apply to every situation that you come across over the next 12 months. So first of all, it is important to know why old coins typically do not pump. They do not pump because they don't focus on the new trends. You think about it, right? If you're a clothing store and you're a clothing store that sells strictly clothes that are trendy for that season or that year, that next year or any year in the future, if you don't update your stock to the new trend, you're going to suffer, especially if your stock is not timeless. Okay. And that's the same thing in this case when it comes to cryptocurrencies. At the end of the day, guys, these are simply businesses. And when it boils it down, they are just trying to get you, retail, to buy their coin. Unfortunately, most of you wish you don't want to believe it. Trust me, it's how 99% of these projects work. They just want to make you buy their token. So their price goes up and they get rich. Okay. Even the ones that you don't think are doing that. So in this case, of course, we have to follow the principle of what makes a coin pump this cycle. It's not just me who follows this. You guys might know a guy called Murad. Here, this guy got pretty popular recently because he's pretty much unlocked the code behind meme coins and are calling for a meme coin super cycle. And a lot of the things he mentions here in his keynote from the Token 2049 event recently actually falls back in line with what I've been saying here for quite some time now. I've gone back and forth, losing lots of money in crypto and spending 20,000 hours researching only to figure out the metrics. The on-chain stats don't mean jack S-H-I-T. What matters in this industry is pumpamentals. What matters is the project hitting the narrative? Is it an AI deep-in coin? If it's an old coin from the previous cycle that is focusing on things that no one cares about anymore, there's not going to be enough interest in the general vicinity of what the project is to want to buy it. So if it's a coin in a weak area, it's not going to do well generally to the whole market. And then is it unique enough? So if it's an AI coin, what else does it offer, okay, that other projects that are AI coins do not also offer? Now, I'm not going to expect you to sit here and kind of identify this yourself. This is actually the two most important things that you should do in researching. These are actually probably at least 90% or 80% at least of your research in crypto for a coin. The rest of it, the metrics, the blah, 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 the confusing stuff, the stuff that people like to say to confuse you, to make themselves feel smart, it's a load of BS. This is also very important as well, but without a good area it's in, and without it being unique enough, it's not going to matter anyway. Okay, so going through the list here, I want to actually give you guys some more information. So what is a narrative? Well, a narrative, as we've mentioned, is, gaming. It's AI. It's account abstraction. It's DeFi. It's real-world assets. These buzzwords you've heard, these are narratives. And these will have their highs, their peaks at the same time. You can see here, some are early narratives. Some will perform early. Some will underperform. Some will overperform. Some are synchronized together and some are late. Okay, this has happened. And again, we actually can see this tracking all of this different stuff. It's like they have their all-time high together. They peak together, basically. So this could look like DeFi coins, all peaking here. This is Bitcoin's all-time high in the previous cycle. This is, DeFi coins peaking over here at the same time, but way off from Bitcoin's all-time high. If you look to hold your DeFi coins for Bitcoin's all-time high, you would have been selling your DeFi coins at an average of 2x lower than their all-time high. The same thing over here with interoperability, same thing with storage, privacy, all the rest of it. The most jarring example here is gaming. Gaming actually pumped after Bitcoin's all-time high. Bitcoin was down from about $69,000 down to about, give or take, $50,000 or $40,000-ish in the vicinity, and these coins were peaking while the whole market was panicking. So it's important that we follow these narratives and these trends and focus on the most important ones. And this brings me back to the old coins, because the old coins themselves, they don't end up adopting the new narratives. They stick to their guns. They stick to what made them popular maybe in the previous cycles. But unless they update, it ain't going to do much, guys. A prime example is AOS. I've spoken about this a million times. AOS, as a project, right, looks completely different Q4 of 2023. Okay, it looks different. This is the website here. It still looked nice. Believe you me, it's important to have a nice website. But it did not mention some very important things. If you read through this, it did not mention any of the primary narratives of the bullrun, which it now does. Deepen, AI, and storage. 3 massive narratives, most importantly, Deepen and AI. They are smart enough to recognize back here on their roadmap last year and said, hey, we need to refresh our website. We need to forget about what we're doing right now if we want to actually grow our project, and we need to focus in on what is going to be popular in the 2025 bullrun. And so what happened? Well, you might have guessed it. It like 40x. From down in Q4 of 2023 at about 1.5 cents, it went up to, again, a 10x here, 15 cents. And then it went up again over here to an unbelievable $1. I mean, it's a total of, I don't even want to think about it, a lot of X's, right? And that was literally perfectly timed with the website refresh. So first of all, you must have a website that is obviously easily conveying what the project is first and foremost. You can't have gibberish that, people can't understand. This is very easy for even a beginner to understand. But of course, it must hit the narratives. It must be AI, real asset, gaming, Deepen, even DeFi is probably pretty important. And you can begin stacking these narratives. Near Protocol is AI. It's a layer 1, 2 massive narratives. It's also doing things like now AI agents. And there's a few other narratives that most people don't know, but also will play into it later on in the bullrun, I do believe. Injective, layer 1, DeFi, real world assets technically because they've done some pretty cool things with Ondo's fund. And they're also now in AI as well. So you can compound these narratives, which just allows it to pump much harder. And what's super funny is in the last cycle, I actually made a video on AOS back in 2021. So 2 years before this website and 3 or so years before this website. And we can see the evolution here. This was the website, layer 1 blockchain-based content delivery network. They were trying their best to sort of pique the interests of that previous cycle. But now again, from here, from this to this, they're almost an entirely new project that focuses and stems around AI and Deepen rather than stemming around their original idea, which was streaming. So I just wanted to point out once and for all here. But guys, the importance behind both narrative and meme here is that, again, the narrative is what it categorizes as, and the meme is uniqueness. And this is really important because at the end of the day, like we can see down here with 2 projects from the last cycle, Solana and Avalanche, arguably, again, both layer 1 projects, that was their narrative. The difference between, a 25x or a 26x for Avalanche and a almost 80x over here for Solana, a 50x difference, was that Solana was specifically tailoring itself on speed, which was the main narrative in layer 1 projects back then. It was unique in that sense. It was the fastest layer 1 blockchain. That was its sort of meme, uniqueness. So it's important to identify this because this is the standout multiples that we're looking for between the two coins or coins in the same narrative. So the way I look at it is the narrative itself is the trigger. This is when, again, all the coins pump up at the exact same time. So if I kind of zoom out back over here again, this is where they all pump at the same time. So this is when we want to sell. This is always, always, always the all-time high of the coins in the bull run. They will all pump at the same time, and that's always the all-time high of the coin. Now, the uniqueness is how hard it pumps versus the competition, like I just showed you with Solana and Avalanche. Again, this is 90% of your research essentially all done here. And so how this looks, just these two, is that when new money comes in the space, they have limited understanding. You might be new money yourself. You don't really know much about crypto, so you gravitate towards the simplistic design, the key narratives, and the key obvious wow factor, the meme of these coins. All right, this is why meme coins are so attractive, because it takes limited understanding. You kind of buy, oh, this thing looks pretty unique versus the rest of the meme coins. This one's sort of like a more meme coin, if you will, and that's what we're trying to apply here to utility coins. So, of course, money flows into crypto. It looks for the narrative, layer 1 coins, Oracle, modularity, storage, DePIN, real-world assets, and then it finds the most unique one. So why did I go on a massive tirade just then? All this to say is a coin, for example, like Algorand versus a coin like Solana. The reason why Solana is a much more successful project is because they have targeted themselves towards the newbie. You see, Algorand, which is an old school sort of coin, is doing quite well right now, but its main target audience is enterprises. It's the real Web 2 world. These coins like Solana, like Avalanche, like Cardano even now, they're focusing primarily in the crypto space, which means they are making themselves more visually appealing on particularly a homepage level like this for the average person. And that's as simple as it needs to be, guys. So all I'm saying is you can have an old school coin. The best example, again, is AOS, that as long as it changes its motive, as long as it sort of updates its website and looks to take advantage of the narrative and be unique enough amongst the competition, which is the meme, and does something like this, that's all you need to look for. That's really it. At the end of the day, everything else is pretty much semantics. Everything else is pretty much people trying to confuse you. Just look at what Murad said here, for example. He's applying this to meme coins, but every coin in crypto pretty much is a meme coin. And again, building on that, like what you have to focus on here is also popularity, right? So the pretty much the community, if you will. And that sort of goes into what I just said about attracting the right crowd. If a coin, an old school coin particularly here, is focused on only the Web 2 world, so attracting enterprise clients and only looking to get themselves involved with massive sort of corporations or enterprises, even on a multinational level, that's great. But is you and I, our retail, people who are actually buying the token, hoarding the token for speculation, therefore appreciating the price, are we going to want to buy it because of that? And that's the key differentiator here, is if they are only focused in that sense on the real world stuff, they're not going to attract a community. And a community for this bull run, I'll tell you right now, it's pure speculation. That is what you need to do. Look at every coin that fails to grow a community in crypto, that fails to market themselves accordingly. They all are not successful. That's point blank as simple as it gets. So it's why it's important to come to websites like Crush. It's not working right now. For some reason, it's down, so I can't show you. And check engagements. This is Sui, okay? So obviously, Sui has sort of garnered a huge community now. And it's pretty much, at the end of the day, all got down to their marketing. So I wanted to show you the engagements here because high engagements per day, Sui right now is about 6.1 million a day, which is a lot, by the way. This is impressive because, of course, the more engagements, the more reach, the more people see it, and the more people see it, you might have guessed it, the more people want to buy the bloody token. Simple as that. You can also come to Twitter, right? Crush does take, obviously, their engagements from Twitter and YouTube and Reddit and all the rest of it. And you can actually come and see how many people are interacting. This is actually what I do. I honestly do to gauge whether I want to get into a project. If I come to the Twitter and they're a massive project and they're getting like barely any likes or views, to me, it doesn't matter. The coin is not impressive because if they put a massive update out there, how many people are going to want to buy it? If there's crappy narratives, if it's not unique enough and there's no community or very little community behind it, I'm sorry, but it's not worth going into it. I don't care if it's a new coin or an old coin, okay? And the last thing I'll bring up is tokenomics, because people do like to sort of look towards tokenomics itself as a way to say, well, the old coins might be a little bit better than the new coins because the tokenomics, all the tokens are in circulation. So now I'm kind of pivoting the conversation saying the new coins are bad and the old ones are better, if you will, because of the fact that they have all their tokens out. Well, I want to disprove this. This is a sheet I'm almost finished creating here for the private community who have access to this sheet for free. It's a very powerful tool I'm building called the Tokenomics Master Sheet. This is pretty much 90% of the tokenomics research you have to do on a project. And without going into the fine details of it all, it pretty much gives you two numbers here that are the most important numbers you're looking at, which are here, the third-party warning score and the investor warning score. And all this pretty much means is how likely are we to get dumped on? And you'll find that the new coins particularly actually have a much better score on average for both of these than the old coins. Why is it? Well, because people get a very big thing wrong in this industry, guys. They get FDV wrong. They get token unlocks wrong. They add FDV, so all the tokens in circulation over here. So for Pith, they say FDV for Pith is very bad, because when all the tokens come out, it's going to dilute the price. It's not. Okay, so when all the tokens come out for Pith in 2027, yeah, it might look bad on paper, but we're selling over here, guys. We're selling latest December of 2025. There ain't going to be the full 10 billion tokens out. There's only going to be max 5.7 billion tokens, okay? And so at that, first of all, FDV is a lot of BS. I don't even bother looking at FDV, okay? Like I just proved. But at the end of the day, it depends who has the tokens. Because when all the tokens are in circulation in 2027, you can see here private sales, so investors, VCs, they have 1 billion tokens, 10% of the supply. Well, over here, they might have less. They actually have half of that. Okay, so it's important we say, how many tokens do investors have in 2025? So you can see the score right here of 75 is actually very good. The average in the industry is a score of 50, and these guys are 75. A perfect score is 100, which means no VC is getting anything, which is impossible to pretty much find in this crypto industry. So the top here is the third-party score, and the third-party score just pretty much means people who could potentially sell, which includes the team, advisors, airdrop rounds, so anyone that could possibly sell apart from the team itself, like the actual grant rounds and protocol development rounds, for example. So other than that, this again is a very good score of 80. Now, if we compare these two scores with an older project like Solana, you can see Solana's scores are far worse. These aren't horrible, they aren't too bad, but they are below average. You can see here, again, 50 is the average benchmark for both of these. So that means that a lot of you think, Pith, for example, has a very, very bad tokenomics unlock schedule, but you're looking at here. We're only concerned with here. And if you go and have a look at Solana's, for example, you'll see that Solana has all the tokens in circulation. And you think that's a good thing, but in reality, guys, all that's saying is that investors, okay, the guys who will sell to make a profit, have all of their tokens, which doesn't just mean they have all the tokens to sell. It means something far deeper. It means they have no conviction in the long-term success of the coin. They can dump the coin today, kill the price, drop it 30%. Another investor dumps it, could drop even further. Then you get scared and you dump, causing a capitulation event. And they don't care. They don't have to get back in the coin. They don't have to support the coin. Guys like Pith, Ondo, Wormhole, they have long vesting schedules. They only have a small little slither of their tokens this bull run. Why would they kill and ruin 90% of the tokens they could be getting for the next bull run because they got greedy this bull run? They don't think like that. So look, at the end of the day, I'm really trying to say three important things here when looking at whether, we should buy the old coins or sell them and only focus on the new coins. It's one, the old coins can be purchased as long as they have given themselves the best chance to attract the most money by focusing on the biggest narratives of the bull run and also being unique amongst their competition. If they don't do that, they're running a very weak game. Number two is, are they, popular? Do they have a community? Are they trying to, pretty much market themselves accordingly? Injective is a prime example of a really, really, really good marketing project. So is Ondo Finance. Use those as your benchmarks. They're newer coins, but they do such a good job of building a community, guys. And lastly here, it's looking at the tokenomics. So it could be an old coin or a new coin, but who has access to the tokens? And again, we're going to have this shit available here in the private community very soon. So you have to look at two numbers, and that's it. The investor warning score and the third-party warning score. That's it. So guys, I'm going to leave it there. I think that's answered the question. I think overall, it's obviously very subjective per coin. I think a lot of the old coins are doing a great job of marketing themselves for the bull run. Is this pump we're seeing right now on these altcoins going to last forever? Well, as we know, these work in narratives. So it's going to come, it's going to go, but I think for a lot of these coins, it will be sustained. They're focusing on communities, which I'm really liking here. So with that said, everyone, thank you all for watching this video. I hope you have enjoyed, and I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Take care, all the best for this bull run. Bye.